Hi everyone, I'm Andy and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about when I first bought my Land Rover Defender. So I first bought my Land Rover Defender in 2016. That was quite a while ago. A good 8 years ago I actually bought this Land Rover Defender. And during 2016 I was driving a BMW 330i, which is a really nice car, but I was driving a lot of rural roads. And with rural roads comes a lot of problems with the sports coupe, with potholes, tractors, livestock, you name it, it's on the road. So I come to the conclusion that I needed to sell my 330i. But what did I want to replace it with? Well, I wanted to replace it with something that could tow. So a Range Rover or a pickup truck. Or a Defender. Let's be honest, there's only going to be one winner there. It was a Defender. And the reason being was because of my military days. When I was 18, I joined up, and at the time you were sort of given this big truck to drive and it was amazing, and your driving experience at 18 years old isn't exactly much. You've only been driving for a year and you're given this big Tonka toy truck to drive off road, and the memories what I have with the Land Rover Defender were just great. So tell me your stories about the Defender. Are you a veteran, or are you serving military? Do you just love a Land Rover Defender, or did your family have them, or did your parents have them, or were you brought up with them? I mentioned about towing. I needed something that could tow at least 2.5 tons comfortably. The Range Rover was on the shortlist, but I just didn't want it to break down all the time. The pickup truck probably wouldn't have been a good shout, but they just don't have the personality of what I was looking for. And the reason I needed to tow a heavy load was because I was doing a lot of track days at the time around the country. I had to give these track days up in the end because they were just getting very expensive with the fuel, the maintenance of the car, the parts of the car, the trailer hire, the fuel for both the vehicle and also the towing vehicle, and then the track day fee as well. It was just getting extreme. Oh, and also there was a talent issue. But I'm sure we can all agree that that was a save of the century, and a round of applause is appreciated. But seriously, I was never going to make Lewis Hamilton sweat. So I bought my Defender from an independent dealer who specialise in Land Rovers. They gave me a year's warranty at the time. They fixed quite a lot of issues as well on the vehicle, what I wasn't quite happy with. So the windscreen was cracked. I think it had a few niggles here and there. Small things like wiper blades. They give it a service as well. So in all, I thought I was getting quite a good deal, and they also give me a year's warranty. So any issues, take it back to the dealer, and then they would sort them. So back in 2016, the price was £10,500, which maybe back then was a little bit of an overvalue, but I was quite happy with all the things that they give me included in the price, which is the warranty, the servicing, the parts what were fixed as well. But if we roll on a few years to 2020, the prices on these Defenders just went haywire. It was crazy. Why were they going up so much? And it was then what made me just a little bit worried about the condition of my Defender, because it was starting to rust a little bit underneath, and it's not a perfect Defender. As you can see from some of the videos I've done, there's a few bits here and there, there's a few bits of corrosion here and there, especially on the bodywork. It's not in the most desirable of colours either. It's got a few nice mods and nice wheels, and maybe a strong engine. But overall, it is in average condition, let's be honest. It's late 2005, so I wouldn't expect it to be in anything immaculate condition like some concourse vehicle. But even my Defender was going up, and at the time it's probably worth about £16,000 to £20,000, and that for my Defender was serious money. And it made me stop using it and put it in the garage. And that's a shame, because any classic car owner or any car owner who has a weekend vehicle or anything like that, or a fun vehicle, or a second or third car, they just stop using it, and it just becomes sad when you go back into the garage and see it in its state, and it is just sad to see. And over the winter, I kept going in my garage thinking, oh, it's a snow day today, I should really take it out. Oh wait, I can't, it's not taxed, it's not MOT'd, so that goes out the window. Thankfully in the last year, the prices have definitely come down more, and then I think this is due to the low emission zone, and they are gutsy vehicles. This vehicle only gets 28 mpg at absolute best, probably 25 average, and sub 20 if you're towing or you're just caning it everywhere. So you can all weigh in on the comments below, but I think my Defender in its current condition is probably worth about 13,500 to 14,500, which in the grand scheme of things now, paid 10.5 for it, 13 to 14.5, it's not gone up a lot, and I don't know why I was protecting it and putting it in a bubble and just not using it, because the appreciation, although it has appreciated, it's not gone up a heap of money. It wouldn't have gone up as much as something like an ISA or a pension over them 8 years it's probably done about £300 to £400 per year in appreciation, which isn't really great for a sort of 10.5 grand investment. And that's the problem. You can't think of these vehicles as an investment. There's so many on the roads, and the reason why there's so many on the roads is because they're easy to repair. There's plenty of parts available for them. There's a dedicated following, a passionate following as well, to keep these vehicles on the road, and the simple makeup of them. So I hope you like this quick video of how much I paid for my Land Rover Defender. Fair enough, it was in 2016, so that was quite a while ago I bought it, so it doesn't reflect market conditions at the minute, but I hope I've explained about why I took it off the road and the reasons for it. So I hope you see you for the next one. See you next time.